we're going to be married. Like, this is about marriage. Like, marriage is not a joke. Like, you're not my boyfriend. Like, was I ready? It wasn't what was he doing, was what was I doing?
Yes.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
With this information that I've heard and seen, what am I going to do next? Am I then going to just continue to see how it goes? Okay, I'm done. Because you can empathize someone else, but then who's empathizing with you? They might be going through something, but what are you going through? Who are your best friend? What would you say?
Welcome to In Her Space podcast, a safe space for raw and real conversations with women who have walked in those shoes. Unfiltered experiences makes it her space. Hosted by yours truly, Ivy Ekong.
Thank you everyone for tuning into another episode of In Her Space podcast. I'm your host, Ivy Ekong. Today I am joined by a woman who stole the hearts of so many on Love is Blind UK 2025. While her time on the show was cut short, it wasn't because of failure, it was because of bravery. Katisha Atkinsons made the bold decision to step away, proving that sometimes the most powerful love story is the one you have with yourself. She's a woman redeeming what it means to choose yourself, choose happiness, and she's already inspiring countless of others with her journey. Today, we'll talk about the show, yes, but most importantly, we'll talk about Katisha herself and life outside of the show, and what inspires her friendships and the beautiful path that she's carving out beyond reality TV. So the first question we ask all our guests is, what does having your own space mean to you? As the name of the podcast, In Her Space, what does having your own space mean to you?
Having my own space is very important. Not only because I'm a woman, but also because I'm the oldest of 7 girls. No, that's a lie. I'm the oldest of 5 girls. Having your own story and having your own voice is very important, I guess, for all women, for all people.
Absolutely. For anyone who may not have followed your journey closely on Love is Blind UK, can you tell us a little bit about yourself before Love is Blind?
Yeah, sure. So before I applied, or
yes, before the show, yes.
Okay.
Just about yourself.
Yeah,
just
so
who you are, your name, what you were doing or what you do. Just
So I come from a small town in southwest Scotland called Dumfries. It's tiny, very small population. Not very. It's got a lot more diverse now, but when I was growing up, it wasn't as diverse at all. I have worked since I was 14 years old. As I've said before, I am the oldest of 7 children. I've got 5 sisters. I moved out of my family home when I was 16. So yeah, I've been living the life. That's why, like I said, having my own voice is very important.
Yes, absolutely.
I've kind of brought myself through these things. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had lots of support and I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that I had to learn early on in my adolescent life to kind of get me where I am today.
So you've been extremely independent, if I should say.
Absolutely. Yeah. From a very young age, like even when I was living with my parents, I was still very independent. I had lots of responsibilities.
Okay. So what drew you to apply for Love is Blind UK? Are you looking for love?
Dating apps, man.
How is dating out there? Like at this time and age?
The bar is in hell. It's so bad. It's so bad. I've been single for like 6 years. Obviously I dated in between that time. But I was on a personal journey myself. Like my last relationship really rocked me. And I went on a good self-healing journey. I moved country a couple of times.
Wow.
And I was just really on a journey to figure out who I was, what I wanted, what my values were. And it's funny because actually I feel like there are some things that you can heal from outside a relationship, but there are also only some things that you can heal from inside a relationship.
Yeah.
Especially if you've never known healthy love.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So reality TV can be very intense, which we were just saying before the camera started rolling. What was the most surprising thing about the experience?
I think the impact of other people, that was the most kind of invasive thing about it. I would say I'm quite a private person.
Yeah.
And when I chose to go on the show, like to go back to your last question, I was very much like, I'm ready. Like I want to settle down. I want, like, a lot of all my friends are married, have children. And I'm like, I'm ready to kind of do this. And I thought, what an amazing opportunity to be able to not only explore an unorthodox way to find love, but also explore myself in that kind of environment.
Yeah.
I was thinking about watching it when it came out and thinking, whatever the outcome, it would be so nice to watch myself go through that journey. Little did I know all that what the outcome was going to be, but so as much as it is obviously a relationship experiment, it's definitely also a social experiment. Other people having opinions and other people in their own relationships maybe going further forward than you are, or if you're, you know, just kind of things that you wouldn't normally experience in a relationship that you would have outside. And obviously, you know, the speed of the experiment. So you're doing everything in a really compacted amount of time. So you're going on holiday with this person, you're living with this person, you're planning a wedding with this person, you're talking about things that you, even before that, you're talking about things on dates that you never usually bring up, but it's great, and it's completely changed the way that I will date going forward. If I do decide to do that, I don't know. But yeah, it is just such a rapid way of getting to the finish line. And I think it has just completely changed the way I see relationships in general.
Okay. It will, definitely. I haven't experienced that. I'm sure it will. They call it helicopter dating.
Oh, yeah, literally.
Speedy, sort of.
Literally. And speed dating for me is something that I would literally never do. Like, I could never, you know, I watch it online, people sit there like, ding, next. I'm like, oh.
Would you do that now? So if someone comes now and say, Katisha, you know, I've seen you on TV, I sort of know your personality and I like you, I want to marry you, maybe within the space of 2 or 3 months.
Girl, I've had those DMs and I'm like, listen, you don't know me. You don't know me like you think you know me. But I mean, it's nice, you know, people do think, and people see a different side of you, whichever perspective that they're in, and that is really nice, obviously coming from the more positive side. But it takes time to get to know someone. You can't know someone from a few hours of television.
Yeah, it does. And even those marriages that have lasted from the show,
The one marriage.
I don't know. You know, I mean, probably it was. There's always someone for someone.
Yeah, of course.
So probably they met their someone on the show, which is not the case for everybody. So,
and I truly believe in the experiment. Don't get me wrong. Like I actually do believe in it. I just think you're very, like you say, you're very lucky to find someone that wants the same things as you.
Yes, absolutely. You made a bold decision to leave the show and choose yourself. Can you walk us through what was going through your mind at that time?
Boy, a lot. I was obviously thinking about my entire experience. Obviously, it was a rash decision, but also it was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. Our relationship was quite rocky from I say the retreat. No, I actually had a really good time on the retreat. It was after the retreat when the kind of real stuff happened. Yeah. But also, obviously, the love triangle had quite a huge impact on our relationship. it was almost as if like we couldn't grow past it, if that makes sense.
Yes, I saw that part, yeah.
But looking back now, I don't know, it was quite obvious that we weren't compatible.
Yes.
You know, I've already seen the scene where we're talking about having dinner. And that was so painful to be part of and to also watch, because I was like, in our relationship, so one of the things that actually drew me to Duven was his work ethic.
Okay.
And we're both quite ambitious people. We both work really hard, and that's something that drew me to him. So dinner for me was like, okay, we're going to be working all the time. Dinner is our thing. So then for him to be so combative against it, I was like, what do you mean you do? What do you mean you don't want to have dinner? Like
that scene where, it was really.
But there was things like leading up to that as well, where he would kind of talk about, he'd be like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm like, hello?
It should be and because you're engaged now, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
wife to be.
There were a few times where, I don't know if you had picked this up or the viewers had picked it up, when he was like, oh, you know, we would date on the outside. If it doesn't work, we would date on the outside, And I was quite agreeable to that at the time. But sometimes when he said it, I'd be like, well, yeah, it kind of makes sense, but like at the same time, we're here to get married. So it's like, we're planning a wedding. So it didn't make sense.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And I guess that was his way of playing the relationship down, or whatever it was that felt right to him. It was difficult. However, all these things were kind of piling up, and I wasn't being made a priority. So then it wasn't, what was he doing? Was what was I doing?
Yes.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
With this information that I've heard and seen, what am I going to do next? And then, like I said, the mixer and what happened at the mixer was kind of the icing on the cake. I was like, okay, I'm done. I spoke to my friends about it. Like, so when the night that I was kind of packing my bags, I didn't actually want to have an argument on camera. So that's why you can see me.
I think,
This was, so before that, I was quite calm. I came in and so after my talk with Megan, I walked back to my apartment because it wasn't far from hers.
Yeah.
And they followed me with the cameras, which was rough. And then we're having this conversation, and I didn't want to have an argument on camera. And then I'm packing my bag, and then he's come down, and we're kind of like having this conversation. I just really didn't want to have it on camera. And I was packing my big bag, and then I decided to just pack a little bag. I was just going to stay away for the night. And have a little think. But then I phoned my friends, and they were saying, oh, do you believe him? Or blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't. And that was kind of my answer. Like, I was like, if I didn't trust this person, am I then going to just continue to see how it goes?
Yes, exactly.
No, that's not what would be the point? There would be no point in me doing that. Like, that if that's how you're going to act when I'm not there, regardless of whether there was a curtain or there was no curtain or X, Y, and Z, whatever it is, like to me, whether you're with them all night or with them a segment of the night, you still kind of made a choice. And this is me making my choice.
Yeah. Okay. That's, I've heard a lot of, comments online. And of course I don't want you to speak for anyone. You can only speak for yourself. But based on your experience with him, do you think he was ready for the show? Do you think he was even ready to get married at all?
It's difficult to say, because obviously the experiment is it's difficult to say, because we all go in the experiment knowing what happens at the end. Everybody knows.
Yes.
It's legal marriage. It's real. Like,
it's real.
Everything is real. So you know that whether you've been casted, whether you've applied, you know it's real. So whether you've been casted, you still have to go through a casting process. You still have to meet with the execs, do all the things to get you through to the next round. So thinking you're ready and being ready, I would say, are two different things.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think, but then I could also probably say the same about me. Like, was I ready?
I think you were ready. I mean, from my own point of view, I think if you had met your person, it would have been a totally different story.
I agree.
So,
and I think
most times people are not even ready. Like when I got married, I wasn't ready. How
can you be ready?
Yeah, my sister, I kept telling my sister, no, I still want to enjoy my life. I don't want to, get married and all that. And then when the right person came, it just happened. Will you marry me? I said yes. I screamed it out loud. Whereas just a year before, I was saying, no, I don't want to get married. I'm not ready and all that. So I think. I
was going to say, sorry to cut you off. I think what he wasn't ready for was commitment.
Commitment. Okay.
And that's a massive part of it.
Yes,
right? Yeah. And I remember asking him once, I said, why do you want to get married? And he was like, because it's the ultimate form of commitment. And sometimes I look back on some of our conversations and I just think we were so far apart, like on completely different pages. Yeah. Even when we talk about our experience, we acknowledge it completely differently. So that's quite important.
Yes, absolutely. So looking back, do you feel empowered by that choice you made to leave?
100%. Because I was making a choice for me. Like at the end of the day, I get to control the outcome. I get to, there were things in the back of my mind where I was like, okay, maybe we could kind of just iron these things out. Maybe, but that's naive.
Yeah.
That's so silly. Am I going to go and try in a wedding dress, bring my family and friends to the venue, do this, do that? And one of the things that we agreed on was that we were never going to embarrass ourselves at the altar. So, and even having to say that, I kind of feel again, it's like uncommittal.
It's almost as if, yes, exactly.
It's uncommittal.
It's almost as if he knew.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was something that he brought up as well. So I'm not going to then go pull myself further, even though we were kind of in a better place, so to say, with each other. We got to know each other more. And another thing is that Joanna and I are both very independent. So there were times where I would kind of like, you're doing everything together. You're sleeping together. You're living together. You're eating together. You're filming together. Everything you're doing is together. And when obviously you're in this, you're just plonked into this space together with a stranger. So that's intense. Like,
it is.
I haven't had a boyfriend in years, and to just be with this man and plan a wedding and do this and do that. And I didn't know what his best friend's name was. I didn't know, it was, it's a lot. It's a lot. And obviously, and the naivety in me was the strong person in me was like, I can't be this naive. I'm not going to iron these things out after I've married this man. I need to know solidly if I'm 100%. And if I'm not 100%, I'm not going to do it.
What's the point?
There's no point.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question that, is a little bit controversial but the purpose of this interview is for you to speak up and use your voice to tell people who you are and not let anyone sort of define you with what they think that you are. So there are a lot of people that say you self-sabotaged with Demola and you saw something that was good. And of course, you know what self-sabotaging means. You're like, this is too good to be true. Yeah. And you actually said that, and when I was watching it myself, I was like, oh my God, I wish you would just go for Demola. He really seemed genuine. Of course, I'm not there. I don't see what you see and I don't know what you know. But from the viewer's point of view, he did seem like he really liked you. And instead, you went for Devon, which is, I would say, probably a safe space or a safer option for you. Or maybe he is the type of, your type of man or the type of relationship that you would go for. So what are your thoughts on that?
So,
you think you self-sabotaged?
I think self-sabotage, I feel like is such a loaded word. I know myself very well. Yeah. Otherwise, I would never be able to put myself through something like this if I didn't have faith in myself. Yeah. However, when you're in that environment, you are very vulnerable. Yes. Extremely vulnerable. I've never had somebody so in my relationship, in my thoughts, in my decisions. there's a lot going on. The girls in the lounge are all dating the same people. The boys are all dating the same people. Like it's a lot. It's there's a lot going on. I would say with Javen, I like the speed he was going at. Okay. I felt comfortable with the speed because the experiment's speedy.
Yes.
Anyway,
yes, it is.
I felt comfortable with him. However, there were some things that he was definitely holding back on, and I talk about that. I'm like, why are you holding back?
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. But it's like almost as if I wanted him to come to me, but I was not coming to myself.
Yes.
When I was with him, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And with Demola, like, as you see, he's kind and forthcoming and vocal about how he feels, and it's amazing. Do I feel like it's self-sabotage? I would say there's an element of that.
Were you scared of maybe the unknown?
Of course. I feel like sometimes this is going to sound terrible, but I almost knew what to expect with Japan.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
The devil you know is better than the angel you do not know.
Yeah. So with Demola, he was amazing, and he was kind, and he was patient with me, and it was great. However, there are some things that you don't see, like in our talks. Like, he was very vocal about his faith. Yes. He said to me a few times, I want my wife to be God-fearing, and that isn't me. Like, I don't practice faith. Like my mother is religious. However, I don't practice faith. I haven't been to church in a very long time. It's something that I'm open to. Yeah. However, the way that he was vocalizing it was as if it was kind of like what's the word?
Something that you have to.
Yeah, but also not like. What's the word?
Deal breaker.
Deal breaker. Yeah, yes, it seemed like a bit of a deal breaker.
Yes.
And maybe it obviously just needed more context. And unfortunately, you don't have the element of time in the pods.
Yes.
But it was something that was always in the back of my mind.
Okay.
I was always like, well, I'm not really sure if that's something that I would be able to manage.
That's a journey you want to take at this moment.
Because I didn't know. I feel like it definitely needed more context, and everything around that. Like, Demola was amazing. Of course, everybody's seen him on the show. He comes across as the perfect husband, like amazing. Yeah, exactly. However, there were just some things that just didn't align with what I thought it could be.
Yeah.
But again, it just needed more context, I think.
Yes.
And obviously the way that it was handled wasn't great. But like I said, I'm in a very vulnerable position. Everything's happening. People are having opinions, decisions, like everything has an impact on how you feel every single day.
Okay. So thank you for sharing that, because we didn't know that, because a lot of people didn't know that you had that conversation. It's a deal breaker for some people, religion. Yeah. And of course, you are not expected to go into that if it's something that you are not comfortable in. So it's a good thing that you've shared that, so that we know now that there were some discussions that we didn't know. So it wasn't as if you self-sabotaged yourself. It was just you were acting based on the information that you had, that
huge.
The public, didn't know about.
Yeah.
Let's talk about life beyond the pods. Have you kept any lasting friendships from the show?
I have. I'm really good friends with Barda and Sarova. A lot of to be fair, I'm friends with a lot of the girls. Ashley, Meg, like they're all great girls. Yes. A few girls that you don't see. I'm actually quite good friends with Sophie, which I feel like some people will be surprised to hear, but Sophie's a good girl.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. Everybody makes mistakes.
Exactly.
She owned up to it.
And she owned up to it multiple times. She is profusely apologizing, and she's just, everybody handles things differently.
Yes,
but as long as you're holding your head up high and holding accountability, you're good in my eyes.
Yeah, she seems like a sweet girl.
She is.
Maybe we'll have her on the podcast.
Yeah, you should. And she would love it. Yeah.
Okay, so what's one lesson or perspective that you've gained from the experience that you carry with you now?
Gosh, I just think things take time. Give yourself time. Nothing needs to be done so quickly.
Yeah.
And also, just don't put so much pressure on things. Just let it be how it should be. And if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, it's cool.
Okay, that's a good one. Good relationship advice too.
Yeah.
So did being on the show change how you see relationships, romantic or otherwise?
Yeah, definitely. I think that if I'm going to date again, I'm unsure.
Would you do it again?
Would I do the show again?
Yes.
Knowing what I know now?
Yes.
No.
No.
I believe in the show. However, I think, well, maybe I would actually with a different perspective, but
Yes.
I would feel like the other side of the people would have to also have the different perspective. I think with it being the second season of, it's still a reality dating TV show.
Yeah.
And I think I was quite naive in thinking that the TV element didn't have a massive impact on it. So
Yeah.
I think that has a huge impact on how people see things.
Yeah. Big question.
Oh God.
I'm sure everyone wants to know, are you currently dating?
I am not currently dating.
Are you sure?
Yes, absolutely.
Because I want to
crystal
know.
clear. No, I'm not dating. I haven't. I think it's one of those things where, we filmed it a year ago. So even if say I started seeing someone this summer. No. If I started seeing someone in spring, summer would come up like, oh, by the way, I'm engaged. And you might see that, well, I'm not engaged now, but you're going to see me get engaged and fall in love with somebody online. Actually fall in love with two people. It's a bit of a mess. Yeah. And I just feel like it would be unfair to bring somebody into that. Not only the airing of the show, but then also the aftermath of that. Like, I didn't know how I was going to feel in the aftermath because my experience was quite chaotic.
Yeah.
I didn't know how it was going to air. I didn't watch the episodes. I didn't get a preview or anything like that. So I didn't know how I was going to feel or how I was going to manage everything.
So are you open to dating or you don't want to date? Like, what is your
I think I need a bit more
status for people listening? I mean, a husband may be listening. Who knows?
Well, if you're listening, husband, I need a little bit more time, I think. I need to reevaluate, I think, get really focused on my values and figure out why I forgot about them, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess there's a lot of more elements to dating in that way.
Yes.
So it's completely different now on the outside.
Yeah.
The thing is that some of the things that I let slide, per se, I would never let that happen in the outside world. Never, ever, ever. Like, all my friends know me. But my friends are probably looking at me like, what is she doing? But it was just such a vulnerable environment. It really, really was.
And you need to give yourself some grace.
Oh, 100%.
Because you did your absolute best with,
with the information that I had.
With the information you had and with the people that you had to meet that you don't know from Adam.
Yeah, I'm only human. Like,
a little bit about your journey. You've already shown the word courage. You were very courageous with what you did, and you've showed a lot of young people out there that it's okay to choose yourself sometimes, or most times, or all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Men do all the time. So why can't we?
My kids, choose always, because at the end of the day, you are the prize. You always have to remember that you're the prize. A lot of men of these days think that they are the prize, but they are not.
No.
You are the woman, you are the prize. And if you feel that you don't, that is not reciprocated of course, choose yourself. As a mother, that is what I tell my girls every single day. And don't ever feel like, you're going to hurt somebody because then you're thinking of the person before you. Always think of yourself, because men don't think of, when they're making their decisions, they are thinking about themselves first. So.
That's the thing. Women are always going to love first. And we always have that in the front of our minds.
Yes.
And that is a blessing and a curse.
Yes, because we're nurturing. What is next for you now?
In my life?
Yes, in your life, yes.
I'm just going to continue being a good girl with a good heart.
Yes.
I would love to have more conversations about empowering women, about standing up for yourself, about loving yourself. I want to talk more about what it's like to be a Black woman growing up in a mostly white society. As I mentioned before, I've got 5 sisters, and it's really important to me that they see me as a role model, not just as a big sister, but like in everything that I'm doing in my life. Like I'm always my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader, and I want them to have the same feels for themselves as well. Is really important to me. I want to do more modeling. Like a lot of people don't know that I model. I wasn't allowed to say it on the show because apparently it alluded to what I looked like, which is fair. I'm really interested in getting more modeling jobs because again, I feel like it is about female empowerment and it gives me more confidence.
Yes.
And just more showing up for myself so that it gives other people the chance to show up for themselves too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to, all the amazing things you're going to achieve in the future. So do you see yourself staying in the public eye? Maybe media?
Yeah, definitely. I think I would be silly not to after what I've been through. But no, I think, it's an opportunity that's there. Obviously, we know about social media and the boom that it's having. I definitely want to stay in the public eye more, but obviously in a more controlled way for myself. I need to figure out what that looks like for me. But yeah, I'm open to it.
Okay, that's good. Being on TV can be, very challenging, like what we've been talking about. Not to talk about being engaged and avoid engagement. I'm sure that has been, hard for you to even watch because I'm sure you watched the show the same time that we did as well, right?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Have you had any form of help with healing? Like therapy, anything like that? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's funny because I was in therapy for a couple of years before I went on the show, and you have to do a few kind of like psych interviews before you go on. And whenever I talk to my therapist is always like, "You don't need me, like you know what to do," and I'm like, "I know." Yes. And then I come out and. I guess that's why therapy is a practice, right? It's only an hour of your day or an hour of your week or an hour of your month, how many times you take it. So it's just incorporating what you learn about yourself and what they teach you to carry you in managing the rest of your life. So I think therapy is something that I'm going to have ongoing because I enjoy exploring myself and exploring why I do things and what things trigger me and what blank spaces I have. Like it's funny when people in the comments are telling me to heal and all this thing, and I'm like, everybody needs to do that. Everybody needs therapy.
It's a journey. Like, you have to continue healing. You can't say I've healed today. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because something is life. Something else can happen in life when you think you've healed. That would trigger. It's
triggering exactly.
In you.
And I think
so
that's another thing
that was a journey.
That I was quite naive about is because I have been single for quite a long time. Like I said earlier, there are some things that you can heal from in a relationship, and some things that you can trigger you in a relationship, and that's just like managing that with your partner, and that's finding the right partner that's going to help you manage what you're going through.
Yes, you help each
and
other
vice versa.
Navigate. Yes,
absolutely.
Exactly. Life.
Nobody's perfect. Nobody's healed. Nobody's whole.
Nobody.
We don't come out. None of us come out unscathed.
We're all broken and just trying to mend the pieces and just trying to, live life.
Yeah, exactly.
Every single day, one day at a time. So, what would you like to say to Javin right now at this moment? This is your safe space, and if there's anything that you want to get out of your chest, this interview is not controlled, it's not anything, it's just you in a safe space. Yes, well, if you have anything you'd like to say, and then you close this chapter.
I just hope that he finds what he's looking for. everybody deserves to find what they're looking for, but I don't know. I think I don't even want to give my opinion on and how he lives his life or how he has relationships or anything like that.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time with him, and because I wanted to. However, I could see myself losing myself within that time that I was spending with him. Yeah. So, and I guess that has a lot to do with how he sees himself. I guess I don't know. No, I don't want to deep dive into the Chamber of Secrets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's going to be a Harry Potter that's going to unlock that key, but that Harry Potter's not me.
Yeah, you just wish him well.
I do. I really do. Like, underneath all this, there's a kind, genuine man, and he brings that out so much. He's not a bad person, but unfortunately, his behaviours were bad towards me.
Towards you.
So,
okay. If you could send a message to the women watching this right now, who are also struggling with their journey and struggling to put themselves first, what would you say to that woman?
I would say, have a conversation with yourself as if you were your best friend. Excuse me, you are the princess of the earth. What are you doing? Like, stop this tomfoolery. Just trust yourself, like really trust yourself. If there's something there that's not right, like if it's not a hell yeah, it's a hell no. Like, come on. Yeah. Let's stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. And you can, to a certain extent, obviously, like, empathy can be your best and worst friend, because you can empathize someone else, but then who's empathizing with you? They might be going through something, but what are you going through? You have to trust your instinct. You really do. Like, I just look at it like, if you were your best friend, what would you say? And you should be. You should want the best for yourself, and we all do. But it's difficult. It's difficult to walk the walk and talk the talk.
Yes.
However, it's choose your heart. Do you want to be in this relationship where it's like gut wrenching and difficult, and it's like getting blood out of stone, or do you want to live a peaceful life and have good skin?
Yeah, good skin. I love that. And have good skin. Oh, that's a beautiful advice that you've just given, and I'm sure, one or two people hearing that will feel really inspired. So thank you for sharing that. Katisha, women are always told to stick with it. Like, just stay. What gave you the strength to say my peace matter more than this?
It's just disrupting it. As simple as that. I'm like, it's not worth it. Yeah. It just was not worth it. I think with the premise of what he did, it was in a club, right? So I'm like, okay, so am I going to have to have this anxiety every time you go out? Like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to question your loyalties. Yes. When you're going out. Yes. Especially when we're going to be married. Like, this is about marriage. Like, marriage is not a joke. Like, you're not my boyfriend. We were going towards marriage. And if that's something as small as I can't trust you when you go out, it's a no-brainer.
What role do you think women's friendship and support system plays in helping, us as women make a brave decision as such?
It's so important, because I feel like in my group of friends anyway, like, I have very different friends who have different opinions. Like, there are some that play devil's advocate, there are some that are like, get rid of that guy. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's so important to have both, because sometimes I can make rash decisions, like, especially when it comes to things like this, that you think, am I overreacting or am I underreacting? Like, you can then ask your friends, would you put up with this? Or have you experienced something like this? And in womanhood, in a space that we're at the moment, we're all in our 30s, we've been through the ringer, you know, we've experienced
a lot of for each other.
Exactly. We have grace for each other. We have time for each other. We hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
And me and my friends will talk at length about the same topic over and over and over again until we've dissected it, until we've, you know, until we've thought this part and this part. We go through the window, up the stairs, down the back door. Like we think about every single scenario. And we just talk about it constantly. And I have friends where I can be on FaceTime for hours and we'll talk about it and I'll be like, oh God, sorry, I'm talking about this again. But it's like, they don't care.
Yeah.
Because I listen to them and I'm like, never apologize for what you're going through because I'm here, I'm listening, I'm sat. And I'm also, it also takes stock on my own life.
Yeah.
Like I can revert it to something that I'm going through, or maybe if I've gone through something, then I can give you advice about what you're going through and vice versa. And that's such a beautiful experience to have in our female relationships.
Yes.
We've had such different experiences in our lives and we can help each other get through things.
That's really beautiful. I think women friendship is very, very important.
Magical to me.
Very,
honestly.
very.
I just don't understand people that don't have female friendships. And I feel like it's such a massive indicator to who you are, because my female friendships are so enriched and so gorgeous, and I would have only female friends to be honest. Like
so
I love men, but
yes,
my female friendships are so sacred to me. Like I love my
safe space.
Like it's nurturing, it's loving, it's kind, it's generous. Like I wouldn't think twice about doing things for my best friends. I would think twice about doing something for anybody.
Yeah.
But also because it's reciprocated so easily and so freely. And my women's relationships are just
close to your heart.
Just amazing.
That's really that's beautiful. I was reading an article some days ago, and it says that a lot of women between the age of 35, 40, they don't have anybody that they can call friend. Yes, because you know, when you get married, you have children, you know, work-life balance, everything is a lot, sometimes. And some women don't have time. Not that they don't want to have friends, but they don't have time.
They focus
to
on other
invest,
things.
in friendship, or even to reciprocate a friendship. So most of the time, those friendships just naturally die, a natural death. And a lot of women want friendship, like you've just said, about your friends, and it's so beautiful. What would you tell such women? So women who feel they don't have that. They don't have, that friendship in their life. What would you tell them?
I would try and find it. I would do everything in my power to try and find it, because like we said before, women lead with love. And if you're a woman and you have these things, but you kind of pine for them, just do things that you love. And then you're going to meet people that also love those things, and that's already a common thing that you have in common.
Yes.
And hopefully those things will blossom. It's never too late to make friends. It's never too late to find love. It's never too late to do any of these things. And I would just really implore them to just find it, because it's so special. It's so important. It's so special.
It is.
And sometimes, like, I would say, I just really want a relationship like I have with my friends, but it's just like, I don't know if that's possible. I hope so, but boys also just don't get it, and that's fine. I've made peace with that.
Do you see yourself using your platform to advocate for women empowerment in the future? Perhaps mentoring, public speaking, things like that.
100%. I would love to do something like that. And I think that's something that I need to bring out of myself.
Yeah.
Like I have a good voice, and
you do.
I don't know what it is in me, like that. I guess it's a lack of self-belief. But then when I do start speaking and I get on a roll, like I am, like I give that to my girlfriends, my mother, the women that have raised me, the women that I've met throughout my life. Like, we are so powerful,
Yes.
and we need to share that with the world, because that breaks my heart that you're seeing there are women that are in 35 that don't have women friends.
Yes, there are women that don't have women
I want to be their friends. Like, other girls, come to me. We'll have a girls group.
Yeah, and when I read the comment, there were like thousands of women saying, I don't have any friends.
Show me where it is.
Can you be my friend? And then people were like connecting in the comment.
That's so nice.
And sometimes it's not planned. It's just life. You know, life is just happening. And probably you had a friend before who is invested, but because maybe you're in a different part, you have family,
and that happens.
Your friend doesn't, and she cannot understand how, you know, it is. And I've had that with myself as well. I had a friend who, you know, we've been good friends, but I got married before her. So I had kids before her.
Yeah.
And by the time you start your daily juggling, you have to work, you have to, you know, the calls were starting to slow down on my end. And she felt she was
being left behind,
and she felt she was doing most of the heavy lifting, which is calling me. Sometimes she's calling me at 9. I just want to sleep. Like, I'm tired. Or not because I don't love her, but
of course,
there's just not so. There's nothing to give at the end of the day. And we had this conversation, which I love, because I'm the type of a person that I want you to tell me.
Absolutely.
You know, some people would just probably stop speaking with you and be like, oh, okay, she's so upset with her husband now that she doesn't care about me. It wasn't even really about that.
No,
and,
of course
you know, one day she came, she was like, Ivy, this is how I feel. You know, I feel like you're drifting away since you got married. And we had a chat. We sat down for like 3 hours. We talked, we cried, we laughed. I told her, come spend the weekend with me.
Yes.
And she came. When she was leaving, she was like, what? Is this like your is a lot?
Yeah.
You have
that's all love though,
I said, this weekend, I'm going to relax, fold my hands. You are their mommy.
Yeah.
And by the time she was going home, she was exhausted. She was like, what? You know, so she's married now. She has her own kids. Beautiful. But at that time, it's not easy to explain how your daily life, and I see why a lot of people are left behind. They don't have friends. And it's so good to have friends.
But that's good for her that she approached you and she was like, hey, I love you and I miss you.
Yes.
And you probably didn't even think of it like that.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but it's great that you could have that open conversation. It just shows that the love was always there.
Yes, always there.
Yeah.
And we're so much stronger now. Yeah. And our kids are friends too. So which is just beautiful.
Oh, amazing.
So,
I just inject myself, and my friends have kids and they're married, and I'm just like, what are you having for dinner tonight? I'm coming over. That's really just the way to go, you know. So for any woman looking for friendship, we really hope you find one. Oh my gosh.
You know, we really hope you find one, because women, you know, just the way women lift women up is, you know, it's gorgeous. It's just beautiful.
Unmatched.
Yeah. We're ending the podcast right now, and we have what we called fire questions. So quick answer. And so first question is, best advice you've received since the show?
Since the show? Best advice I've received since the show? Nobody knows who you are, but the people that matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. A mantra you live by?
Mantra I live by? Good heart always wins.
Good heart always wins. I love that. Yes, I love that. Something fans would be surprised to know about you?
I sweat a lot.
You sweat a lot?
Yeah, I sweat.
Oh, sweat.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, because you haven't sweat in here at all. Okay.
Maybe one thing that people don't know is I'm funny.
You're funny. Oh, nice. That's really good. You are funny. You've made me laugh so much. Katisha, thank you so much for sharing your story and your journey with us. And thank you for coming on In Her Space podcast. And I hope you've enjoyed your time with me today.
I've loved it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And where can people follow your journey and support you?
So my Instagram is Atkinson1. I don't actually know my TikTok, but I quite often share it on my socials anyway.
Yeah, we're going to tag you anyway. Perfect. So Amazing. You guys follow her, and she's such a sweet, loving person, and she has such a beautiful energy to her. So beautiful. So thank you so much, Katisha.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you everyone for tuning into another episode of In Her Space podcast. I'm your host, Ivy Ekong, and I'll see you in our next episode. Remain fabulous, everyone. Bye.